would happen if a Fire TV and an Echo had a baby? It would be the Fire TV Cube. And we're gonna check it out right after this.
This is, you listening to Travis.
What up, players? Welcome back. And for all you new people, welcome. My name is Travis and I do tech videos every single week and have a blast doing them. If that sounds fun to you, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Anything I talk about will be in the description below, so check that out. But for now, let's get into the video. Amazon's done it again. They've taken two of their most popular products, the Fire TV and the Echo, and combined them into one, the Amazon Fire TV Cube. They announced it just about a month ago, and it's pretty phenomenal. Every once in a while, a product becomes greater than the sum of its parts. And to my mind, the Fire TV Cube is just that. I'm going to show you why, but before we get to that point, let's get it out of the box. So here it is, the Fire TV Cube. It reminds me of the Nintendo GameCube. Remember that thing? Well, it really is what the name says, a cube. On the top, it's got 8 microphones and 4 buttons. There's buttons on the top of this thing, which is weird because you are thought to never come over to it. It's all by voice, but there's volume up and down. There's a mute button, which could come in handy, and a command button, which when you press it, you actually don't have to say Alexa, which is kind of, what? All the advertisements for this thing talk about how it's voice and how you command everything with your voice, which is true. And I'll show you some examples of that later, but to have buttons, I guess that's just a manual override type of thing, and it's not a terrible thing, it's just something you'll probably never use. So taking a closer look at this thing, the back has just a couple connections. A micro USB, which you will use if you want to for Ethernet. The Ethernet adapter comes with it, which is great. They added one in, people have been asking for it on other Fire devices, and now you got one. You have your power, of course, your IR emitter, which is great, and your HDMI. Now, those both could actually control your devices, and we'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute. But there's two, one for legacy devices for IR, and HDMI, which not only has your video and audio, but can actually control your devices if your TVs and other devices support it. So this thing actually has the same processor as the existing Fire TV, which is a little bit of an odd choice, but really doesn't affect anything in a negative way. The interface moves very smoothly and everything is very snappy, and all the voice commands are right on time, so it really makes no difference. But this thing supports 4K, 60 frames a second, HDR10, which is phenomenal. Not Dolby Vision, but that's okay. Dolby Atmos, which is great, and basically all the normal things you're used to. You can actually watch 4K YouTube. I know that was a big thing that some people mentioned on the Apple TV review. Although you do have to use like the Firefox browser, which is another cool thing. You actually can install a web browser on this thing. Think about that for a minute. Because not only does it give you access to YouTube to be able to watch 4K video, although I've not been able to get 60 frames a second to work on there, but 4K, but it also allows you to go to other websites, which if you think about, is kind of cool. You can get some of your blogging done, or, maybe some banking. I don't know if I would do that, but you could do it. And just those things alone kind of separate it from other streamers. Most streamers just are happy to give you video, maybe an audio service or two, and that's about it. The Fire Cube not only does that, but then adds on games and house control, because Alexa does all the things that your normal Alexa does, well, with the exception of 1 or 2 things, and in one package. So for less than what you're paying for an Apple TV, you will get full-on Alexa, 4K HDR, access to some amazing skills, and you're saving like 30 or 40 bucks. Now, while you're giving up something like Dolby Vision, what you're not giving up and what you're getting in return is Alexa. Now, it's incredibly powerful. Let me show you some of the things you can do with what's in here. Now, real quickly, if you have newer televisions and newer kind of equipment, then you won't even need to use the included IR emitter. HDMI actually has support to be able to control volume, power, and some other things over HDMI. So you might get away with just plugging this thing in and not plugging in anything else besides power. Obviously, you can pick your videos and your music and some other things by voice, which is great, change channels and all that stuff. But being able to change the lights in your house, which I can do, which I love, is phenomenal. And once you've done it, you'll never go back. You'll wonder how you were able to go this long without doing everything by voice. As a matter of fact, I can turn on my home alarm through this thing. Now, the use case that they're selling you on is the ability to turn your TV on. So let's give it a shot. Alexa, turn on Fire TV. Now, not only did it turn my TV on, it turned my receiver on, and you'll notice the lights behind my television came on. That's a really cool thing you can do in the routine section. So not just the TV and not just the Fire TV and not just your receiver, but a lot of things. It actually will also control things like Apple TV, which I think is interesting, and an Xbox. So you could actually have it switch directly to your Xbox. In addition, it actually will support your cable box, or if you have satellite, your satellite box. So you can have it control what volume you have, what channel you watch, and you can do it all by voice. Now, the Xbox One did have that feature, and I loved it, but not everyone had an Xbox One. And now you can see how cool it is to turn up the volume, turn it on, turn it off, and even find a channel completely by voice. And those skills, like being able to arm your home alarm or finding out where you parked last or whatever the case may be, are amazing to have at really anywhere in your home. So if you have an Echo somewhere in your living room, I would suggest moving it away and using this instead, especially because now you have the screen. If you do not have an Echo Show, having an Echo with a screen is the bomb. Let me show you. Alexa, what's the weather like today?
Right now in Renton, it's 66 degrees Fahrenheit with partly sunny skies.
What if you want to watch a movie and you don't know the genre, but not exactly what you want to watch? How about this? Alexa, show me some comedies.
Here's what I found.
And Viola, comedies. If you already know the name of what you want to watch, you just call it out. Alexa, play The Tick.
Here's the tip.
Now, the funny thing is, this thing has so many features, I actually forget about a lot of them. One that's incredibly useful if you have a compatible camera is the ability to show the cameras on your television. Alexa, show the front door.
Okay.
My front door. There's tons of things you can do with skills with Alexa. Not only can you do things like play games, but you can also do things like order pizza. How perfect is that? Watching TV and then ordering pizza by voice. That is amazeballs. Now, currently you can't make actual phone calls. The skills needed for like the ordering pizza and stuff have nothing to do with phone calls. The phone calls can work on Echoes, but for whatever reason right now, they don't work on the Fire TV Cube. And also timers right now don't work, although I suspect that they will eventually, like a sleep timer. This is the cool thing about the entire Echo ecosystem, which is they keep adding stuff all the time. So what you buy today is less than what it'll be 6 months from now. Hands-free Alexa on your television, the bomb. When you compare this against the other two streamers, the Roku and the Apple TV, it's got some checks and it's got some minuses. Of course, no Dolby Vision. And while it does support Dolby Atmos, I can't find any content with Dolby Atmos. But of course, that'll probably change through time, so eventually that will become a moot point. But for now, I would still say the highest of the high is Apple TV, but this kind of beats everything because it's so many things in one. It's not just a streamer, it's not just an Echo, it's both and more. And for the price, $120 normally, but probably $99 when the sales go on, there's really nothing that can touch it. The Roku is nice, but it doesn't do half the things that this thing does. And the Apple TV is really a top-end streamer, but it doesn't do half of these things either. Really, once you put an Echo inside of a Fire TV, there is no comparison. So if it's not really clear already, I think you should get one. If you're even mildly interested in having an Echo, a Fire TV, or both, this is it. So if this video helped you out in any way, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share it to all your friends. And if it didn't, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share it to all your friends. I'm having a blast here every single week, and I hope to see you again real soon. Peace and love, peace and love.